We've just had a local say, mate, what are you doing? Get out of here. Don't stay long. ¿Es seguro?
No.
No?
No. Es una roja. Acá tomamos una roja.
And I asked her recommendation just to see what she wanted to say about this spot of like, hey, do you recommend a spot to stay around here? And she's like, buddy, you're a foreigner. They're going to leave you with nothing.
Acá ni te quedes mucho porque acá te dejan en pelota.
Let's get into it. We're seeing what Montevideo is about, the outskirts and the center.
¿Qué camino para el viaje?
What do you reckon, buddy?
How did you sleep? Good?
So we just woke up and ready to get out on the road, aren't we, miss? Let's get out of this sleeping bag. De Bolivia, pero soy de Australia.
Ah, y vino a recorrer, conocer acá.
Sí, sí, sí.
Ha ido para la parte de la Plaza de Toros, todo.
Hay una buena plaza acá.
Sí, tiene que agarrar todo por la Rambla.
Sí.
Acá no hay manera de perderse, es chiquito Colonia.
Sí.
Hay una que vos le seguís toda la Rambla al final para ya tener a Ciudad Vieja.
Ok, nos vemos.
Vamos arriba.
Chao, chao. Chao. Buena onda. You see, bro, is on a scooter, helmet up, mate in his head, and a thermos under his arm. What a freaking legend. What a freaking legend. Damn. So this is Colonia, Uruguay. Not a lot's happening. We're along a cobblestone path here. Well, look at that, Miss Patty. Just check that out. Straight out to the ocean there. No, this is pretty nice. You got a lighthouse up there. We're just gonna drive along this esplanade just to properly check it out, but it's still early morning, not a lot's open. This is in the oldest section of the city. It's a lot more like beautiful. Buen día, amigo. Some other overlanders just out there. Behind us, we've got the ferry of Colonia Express. That's one of two kind of ferry companies that go between Buenos Aires and a couple of cities here in Uruguay. It's a lot of, I know this because foreigners use it to kind of do a visa reset. You can go back and forth between Argentina, get another 90 days, and the ferry gets you there and back in a day and costs maybe 40 USD. So there's the ferry terminal over there. So with us being in like a very touristic area as well, I just want to check out this little shop to see if we can find a little memorabilia for above where I drive in the tuk-tuk. Buen día. ¿Tienes pinas? Me encanta eso. Gracias. Es muy lindo. Y 90 es como $2 pico, algo.
Sí, casi 3.
Sí, perfecto.
Para que no está enganchado. Vamos a cambiar.
¿Y es lo más conocido equipo de fútbol acá?
Esa es la selección.
Ah, la selección de Uruguay.
Sí.
Qué bien, qué bien.
Y esos son los más conocidos, Peñarol y Nacional.
Ah, muy bien. ¿Y qué es Colonia? Como es una ciudad, pero antiguo, viejo.
Solo acá, después lo otro es... De
Nuevo.
hecho, hay barrios que tienen 10 años.
Claro, claro. There we go. This has the star from the flag of Uruguay. I can't hide the smile because there's a lot of tourists around and they're all like, yo, is that dude a foreigner as well? And he's just on the coast in a tuk-tuk. Anyway, that behind us is a closer view of the lighthouse. Good girl. Where are we, man? This is Uruguay. This is awesome. Like, look at all of that. Look at all of that. I seriously feel like I've stepped back in time with this one, where I'm taking like my own little self-guided tour. I feel like I've rented a tuk-tuk for a day or something, and I'm going through Old Town Colonia in Uruguay, and it's fantastic. What do you reckon, Fatty? We're really lucky that we get to like live this life. We don't have to rely on ferries and bus tour groups and things. So, man, it's a good time. Uruguay, baby. I see you. I see you. What? Yeah, that's my next little adventure. Alaska to Argentina, we'll go back down on that thing. Back there though, I was definitely nervous. A lot of tourists, a lot of looks. Thinking, yo, is that a foreigner in a tuk-tuk? I was very out of place. I was saying I'm not cut out for this type influencer type thing where, I don't know, I just feel like I'm just showing you guys what Uruguay's about. Gorgeous, buddy, gorgeous. You're looking the wrong way, girl. Nobody said it. I thought it was gonna be like a literal plaza. I thought it was gonna be just a plain plaza. This is insane. That's insane. Yo, that's crazy. I think they've got like they've got a stage set up in there. I think there was a concert recently, but this is the Plaza of the Bulls is what it translates to. Plaza de Toros. I thought that was just the name of a normal plaza. It's a grass plain. I'm like driving around this thing, I'm just in awe. Freak, I'm getting dizzy.
Para lo que resta del año. Tu alarma de 965 pesos masiva durante los próximos 8 meses.
See, she's got the radio playing on top of his car.
Gratis. Además, si contratas
There's so much going on, man, but what the heck? We're in front. Oh, sorry, Bubba. I stepped on you. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, new street, Papa. You're looking a bit worse for wear. You okay? Relax, Putty. Man. I just had to park up and put the Uruguay flag in front of this thing. Just in the middle of nowhere, really. There's just a suburban house, some street dogs, a tuk-tuk parked up. I don't have a SIM card to check what exactly was going on, but being it called Plaza of the Bulls, I assume there was like bull shows, exhibitions, maybe bull runs and things. They've apparently done it up, so maybe this isn't how it was looking and antique it was at a point. So yeah, there's a lot of history here in Colonia, especially where I was in that port and over here, but the rest is pretty built up and new, as you can expect. But I'm really enjoying it, kind of to step back in time. So yeah, Colonia was really nice. We can't stay long, it was just a little day trip, and now we're off to Montevideo, the capital city.
Walking on a dream. How could I explain?
So the unfortunate reason we couldn't stay long in Colonia back there is we've got an Airbnb sorted, but it's a 5 PM check-in at the very latest because the dude has to drop the keys and get somewhere. So yeah, it was just enough time probably for us and our vibes with cities and things. but now we've got a 5-hour drive, that's not really including rests, to get to Montevideo. So we're pushing it, but it seems like it's a lot more of a nicer drive. Look at this guy. Vibing. It's a lot more green, yeah, a lot more scenery by the looks of it on the way to Montevideo here than there was going through farmlands. So in Uruguay, there's a lot of police presence on the highways, and fortunately for us, with trucks and things as well, everybody's quite fond of our vehicles, so we always really only get smiles and waves. But the reason we're highway legal more than just because we look cool is the fact that these guys are highway legal as well. Legend! So he's going fast and old, mate, but so the back tractor was obviously a bit faster, but his mate in front probably got a max speed of 30 kilometers an hour and was on the main highway here between Colonia and Montevideo. We're having a good time. So we're highway driving and hitting a roundabout just now. Anyway, speakers ran out of battery, so I chucked the radio on. The tuk-tuk does have radio, it's just not the best quality, so... And there's no Bluetooth, it's pretty Latino like that, it's USB. Set it up. Bit of cumbia. It's nice to see what Uruguay's got going on regarding music. What do you reckon, buddy? Montevideo. Dale, vamos. Alrighty then, things are going really well. We're maybe like 15 kilometers, 10 kilometers from the capital city of Uruguay, Montevideo, and that's really exciting. But what I want to comment on and what I want to document, Uruguayans might not appreciate that I am discussing this, but I've seriously just noticed it. Pati, play. So you don't, place, so you don't bother the lady coming up. So yeah, Uruguayans might not appreciate that I'm talking about it, but it happens throughout almost all of Latin America, where there's a little ring around almost all big cities. So I'm talking particularly about capital cities, and I've just noticed it, where we literally went from just farm fields, then what I'm seeing now, like trash in the streets, more street dogs, more maybe what you call bichas, which is the same word in Spanish as the Brazil word favela, which is maybe pop-up houses, potentially houses on top of houses, houses made illegally or just using illegal building techniques, if that's even a thing in Latin America. I'm just describing it from the perspective of maybe an Australian, from what I'm used to seeing. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, ¿qué y tú?
Muy bien, hey, relax, hey, Pati, hey, relax. ¿Cómo estás?
Bien, es un perro cazador. Ah, no, es un Doberman.
Es un Doberman, sí. ¿Cómo es esa zona? ¿Como bien para hospedaje y todo? ¿Es seguro?
No, acá estamos en zona roja.
Rojo.
Zona roja es cuando es peligrosa.
Peligrosa.
Te roban, te hacen cualquier cosa.
Ok.
Tenés que irte para el centro.
Sí, seguir. Ok.
Claro, seguir.
Ok, perfecto.
Escúchame, agarrás esta ruta y te vas para allá, después doblás por la cápsula y al centro. Ni te quedes mucho porque acá te dejan en pelota.
Ok.
Te digo porque yo vivo en zona roja y veo todo.
Ah, mira.
¿Está?
Ok, gracias.
Por nada.
There you go, as Old Love was literally just saying as she walks away. From what I saw and what I felt is correct. We're in apparently a red zone is what she just called it, where there's a lot of circulation that happens within the capital, but then just outside of the capital city is people that are like maybe traveling to the city, working, coming home, just making ends meet, going back and forth, making minimum wage. So I'm gonna get the drone up and just chuck it up have a little fly over this villa. In Uruguay, they probably refer to it as a villa as well, but in Argentina, there's a few spots within and just on the outskirts of the capital, but even inside the capital city, that are just like foreigners are a no-go, but not even locals should be going. Good. So I've got her to take care of me, and we're right beside the highway, and this is like warehouses and things, so literally 2 streets that way is kind of where the villa starts, and then it just goes. I usually do look for locals' recommendations to tell me how things are. That's a great example, but I've already, like I said, organized an Airbnb for tonight in the center, and I would recommend to viewers, if you guys are traveling Latin America, if you guys see some whack, where you just see some stuff that kind of makes you feel unsettling, and you realize, hey, I'm probably on the outskirts of a city here, I should probably leave. That's maybe recommended. So she, being a local, said to me, I've seen some stuff, sun's still up, so we're still sweet, but we're not going to stay here for too much longer. You know what, I reckon we might go buy eggs as well. We might just go in, buy us half a dozen eggs, record a little bit, and then head out. Okay, so we're gonna go see what this red zone is about. Crazy they've got it labeled. I didn't think it would be any more than just a barrio, like a neighborhood that has a name that people know, hey, you should steer clear, you know? But they'll have at least good prices on half dozen eggs. Surely. ¿Cómo anda? ¿Todo bien? ¿Vendes huevos? ¿Adentro? Perfecto. Hola, che. ¿Vendes huevos? Medio docena, por favor. Una factura, por favor. 25. Perfecto. Gracias. Let's try it, eh? So as we chomp away on this pretty good pastry, we're just gonna turn around. See that dude right there? Checking out the bin. Got the pastry in the camera, sorry lads. He's looking for cardboard usually, because they're able to collect cardboard and sell that back to the government, I believe. It's like a recycling scheme that's going on. And that way they can make a bit more cash. So it's a hard bit of labor, but I think it even helps the fact that recycling bins have to go around less than usual, and the fact that there's maybe less rubbish on the street because they're collecting bottles and cans as well. We saw what we wanted to see. We'll go to the center now. Oi, holy sh**. Relax, relax, relax. You're good, you're good, you're good. It's a dead end, man. It's that one pastry, 6 eggs, 90 Uruguayos. That's like $2.20 USD. More or less. I'm still like day 3 of figuring out prices and shit. That's a dead end too. I'm mad foreigner, where I've just like, yeah, we're taking the wrong turns and everything, getting chased by street dogs. Sorry, Patty, this is my fault. Alright, we're getting out of here. Hey, basta, basta, basta. Some bro has got a shopping trolley with a mattress in it. So yeah, we're out of there safe and sound. Obviously, we're pretty sweet with a Doberman and during the daytime, but at night, nah, I wouldn't go there for content, you know what I mean? For content and a pastry, I wouldn't be going there. As a foreigner, it's completely understandable when an iPhone is like the salary of 3 months for someone here, so it's understandable. You got to kind of just be watching your back and not going anywhere stupid at night, because shit's gonna happen. And that right there is the Capitol. Crazy how buildings and skyscrapers just spring out of nowhere, isn't it, Patti? Wild. We're gonna be in and amongst that quite soon. It's quite cool to see on the drone. Like, I'll be able to put the clip up and point out where we're gonna be staying versus where we were flying over. The contrast is really insane. See that car back there? There's a lot of like old school cars in Uruguay. See that? Gotta be looking all around in the tuk-tuk. Anything can take you out. See this guy just across from us? He's a legend that takes care of your cars on the sidewalk. Basically what happens if you try to drive off, more or less, I've not seen it happen, but I've heard stories that in Latin America, if you don't pay a parking dude as you drive off from street parking, he will like key your car basically. These aren't guys that are employed by the government. These are just dudes that are just like, this is my street, I'm taking care of it now. And that's how it works. That way you kind of have safe street parking, and obviously if there's dudes like that around, it's maybe necessary. And they don't charge very much. In Argentina it was for an hour less than $1, so I assume it's more or less the same here, so it's definitely worth it. So we're just around the corner from our Airbnb. We're not right city center, we're the suburb over, but we're still a walking distance at least. So Patty and I will be able to check it out. There we have it. You guys can see. Nah, it's not focusing, but we made it here for 4:30. Check-in closes at 5, so we made it just in time. And it's a vibey area, you can see. School across the road. But we're gonna find a paid garage for the tuk-tuk. Take all of our valuables out of it anyway. There's like a thrift shop on the other side of the street. While we're waiting for this dude to pull up to our Airbnb, I've just told him we're out in front. I'm gonna check out this thrift shop. ¿Cómo estás? El equipo más popular acá en Uruguay.
Fútbol, uruguayo, Nacional y Peñarol.
¿Tienes una remera de eso?
En el Peñarol es esta, pero tengo grande adentro, esta de niño.
Claro. Tal vez tenés una remera chiquitito para una perrita. Yo tengo mi perra.
Sí.
¿Eso sirve?
No.
Para de Uruguay.
Sí, a ver.
Ah, tu tienda es grande. Look at that. Permiso. Sí, es un Doberman, pero no tan grande.
¿Qué tamaño tiene el perro?
Así.
¿Tenés una foto?
Claro, así.
Ah, un Doberman.
Sí. Pero
amo los
por
Doberman.
esa raza no es tan grande, sí. Perfecto. La tienda es buenísimo, me gusta mucho. ¿Y qué equipo es, sabes?
Ese es Danubio. De Uruguay.
Ok, perfecto. ¿Cuánto sería?
500.
Perfecto.
Típico uruguaya, curiosa. ¿De dónde sos? ¿Francia o Alemania?
Australia.
Australiano. Me imaginé por los ojos. Mi marido es australiano. Va. Mi ex marido. Ahora
¿sí?
tengo un italiano.
Ah, muy bien. 500. Gracias. Chao, chao. A cheeky $10 for a little remera, a little jersey for Patty. Thanks. 1 second. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Todo bien?
Mucho gusto. Yo soy Laura, la dueña de la casa.
Right.
¿Y el perrito?
Allá, voy a dejarlo para seguridad. Por todas mis cosas son adentro y
Sí,
no puedo
está bien,
bloquear.
¿Quieres estar? Tienes una estufa que ahora está prendida.
Perfecto.
Pero después la apagamos.
Me dijisteis una casa antigua de Colonia.
De la época de la colonia.
Sí, la construcción es antigua.
Es muy
Qué
antigua.
bien, qué bien. Me encanta ese tipo de onda. Sí, tiene todo
Y
que
aquí-
necesita.
y aquí tienes el baño. ¿No?
Perfecto.
Cierra bien la puerta.
Claro que
en
sí.
la noche, too much people a la calle.
What a spot. It's an antique house made in the Colonia era, and it's like, yeah, it's a really fairly priced spot as well, like 34 USD for the night.
3 bedrooms and a kitchen all for ourselves, Pati. They're now going back home. They've got a long drive ahead, so that's why they said, hey, you got to get here before 5. We're not staying in the city longer than 5. And then they said, you can check out whatever time you want because we won't be back. So sweet. You stay here, okay? I'm gonna take all our stuff. I like that. Yeah, the tuk-tuk's pretty much a shell, and we're just gonna leave it in a garage, safe and sound for the night, before we have a good night rest. So we found a parking garage. We're gonna snag a spot right in at the back, and I just told him, mate, I don't need to drive anywhere for the next good like 14 hours. So just pop it in there, stay it for the night, and then head out tomorrow. So he's moving it, and yeah, we got a spot. How good's this? I don't know the price, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it was maybe $19 US. ¿Llevan cosas adentro?
No, las tortas no.
No.
Las empanadas
Ah,
sí.
tenés empanadas también.
Sí.
Gracias. ¿Te pide 2 tortas fritas nada más?
2 tortas fritas.
Sí.
Sí, me espera un momento y ya estoy contigo.
Gracias. ¿Qué ingredientes son adentro?
Harina de trigo,
Sí.
le coloco sal, royal y grasa. Y después amasar.
Qué bien. Y hacen así y ponerlo en aceite bien caliente.
En aceite no, en grasa.
En grasa.
Sí.
No es aceite.
No es aceite.
Qué bien. Ah, mira. Mi primera vez así. Nunca.
¿Primera vez?
Sí.
¿La quiere con azúcar? agregar
¿Cuál es
azúcar.
la más tradicional?
Tradicional es solo.
Ok, así, perfecto. Gracias. Bueno.
Está caliente. Ay, no se quemó.
Pero me gusta. Es bueno.
¿Está rica?
Muy rica. Mate, these are good. Torta frita, like fried bread. I'm loving it. Yo compré una torta frita para ti.
Muchísimas gracias.
Buenas noches. Descansa. Chao. Chao. What do we have here? It's a patty loca. No, ¿en serio? ¿Es una patty loca? Whoa, Miss Patty. We're comfortable at home, aren't we? Yes, look at this. You've been keeping the antique house safe? How good? How freaking good. You comfortable? Oh, no way this is our house, Patty. We're just drying the tent. Kids' room, Patty's bed, and my room. There's even that little office that you guys saw. But where else do you get like a Frida painting and the touristic umbrellas above you, huh? Nowhere, miss. And yo, that's it. Finish off the day strong. We went to the gym, and on the way home from the gym, we found a little burger shop. Found a panaderia as well. We found a little bakery. Got some apparently very traditionally Uruguayan pastries, which are like savory, not sweet this time. They're like jamon and queso, that ham and cheese, a little bit of a juice. So yeah, the gym was good. We need to find that routine again. It's just been days driving, sightseeing, enjoying, eating well. We gotta try it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. What a day, what a day.